Oahu. It's the kind of place where you can relax for days, just floating in the ocean or soaking up the sun on the shore. Or you can get active, taking hikes up Diamond Head, snorkeling with sea turtles, swimming through waterfalls, and if you dare, jumping off 30-foot rocks into the ocean, or climbing into a cage with fins to the left and right, as well as below you. If you're like me and choose the active option, here's the inside scoop, complete with tips on getting all these experiences too. You'll likely be based in Waikiki, where most hotels, shops, and restaurants are located. You can see the iconic Diamond Head crater from all of Waikiki shores, and it's about a 10-minute drive from most of the resorts. Tip number 1, you're going to want to go early. It gets hot, fast, and starting before 9 will make it easier all the way around. That, or wait until around 4. It takes about 30 minutes to get to the top. Parts of the hike are steep, but it's still an easy walk up the historic trail for most people. And once you're at the top, the views make it worth all that heavy breathing getting there. You can see most of Waikiki from the top, along with sweeping views of Oahu's southeastern coastline. Be sure not to miss the lighthouse down at the tip. We hung around at the top for about 20 minutes, then made our way back down. Our trip down took half as long as it did going up, and we rewarded ourselves with pineapple smoothies from a food truck at the base of the crater. We hit the water for our next adventure, taking a boat out of Waikiki's marinas in search of sea turtles. Here's tip number 2. There are plenty of excursions you can book, but we decided to rent a boat through Get My Boat app, since there were 6 people in our group and we wanted to make sure they took us straight to the turtles. From the marina, we motored out for about 20 minutes to the spot that locals know the turtles tend to enjoy, dropped anchor, and jumped in the water with our snorkeling gear. For the next hour and a half, we swam with the sea turtles and random other fish, absorbing every magical moment. We found our next adventures up on the North Shore. It's about an hour's drive from Waikiki and famous for its massive waves in the winter, where surfers come together from around the world to compete. But if you're there other times of year, you're likely to find the ocean calm, other than the exceptional day or two when the waves hit hard. We were there for one of those days, and let me tell you, the waves are no joke. We ended up at Waimea Bay, hoping to jump off the rocks into the ocean, but it was so rough the day we went, the lifeguard told everyone to stay off the rocks. That said, we went back to the same beach 2 days later, and it was calm as glass. We were able to climb the jumping rock and take the 30-foot plunge into the ocean with minimal danger. Once at the top, there were a few other people waiting to jump, but as it turned out, were too afraid to take the leap. One thing we all agreed on, it took a lot longer to hit the water than we thought it would. If we'd had more time, we would have done it again and again. So tip number 3, take the jump, make the leap, but only do it when the lifeguards say it's safe. Tip number 4 is this. After you leave that beach, drive across the street to the Waimea Botanical Garden. Then walk the trail back to the waterfall. It's the easiest hike in Hawaii, in my opinion, since it's mostly shaded and paved, and only takes about 20 minutes. Once you arrive, you'll be given a life jacket that you're required to wear in the water. The rocks are slippery getting in, so be careful. But the water is refreshing and the waterfall is beautiful. Tip number 5, don't take off the life jacket. 2 people in my group wanted them off for their photo in front of the waterfall, and as soon as those jackets came off, a little guy in the water made a clicking sound to alert the workers. You don't want to be that guy kicked out of the waterfalls, you know? The walk back to your car will be more leisurely as you try to dry off, so enjoy some of the beautiful plants around you in this tropical paradise. Another great adventure up on the North Shore is shark diving. And before you say absolutely not, no way, just keep an open mind. We booked our excursion through Hawaii Shark Encounters, a site we found online, and ended up getting a discount simply by calling the number online and asking for the discount code. We can call that tip number 6. 10% off 6 people's fees will add up. If someone in your group is too afraid to go into the shark diving cage, they can just pay to ride along in the boat. It's $20 less and means they're not left out of the frightening fun entirely. In fact, the one person in our group who took this route ended up going in the cage after all once she saw how much fun we were having. This is a snorkeling experience where you boat out to a 12 by 12 metal cage which stays at sea and the boat ties up to it. It's located about 3 miles offshore in a spot 400 feet deep. The sharks are conditioned to hear the sounds from the cage and come check it out. They did. 6 of us climbed into the water in the cage with our masks and snorkels on and held onto a bar that goes around the perimeter. We spotted Galapagos sharks all around us and one sole barracuda. I never felt like any of the sharks were aggressive and repeatedly dove to the bottom of the cage just to be totally submerged with them. Bottom line, it was a thrill. After all this fun, if you decide to spend a day or two just relaxing on the beach, it is your vacation, I have one final tip. Rent a surfboard from one of the huts set up on the shore. For about $20, you can grab a board for an hour or two. Watch a free YouTube video to learn how to jump up on the board. There are lots of beginners on Waikiki Beach where the waves are mild, but big enough to ride in, even if you never make it to the standing up position. Then you can tell everyone back home that you went surfing in Hawaii. Mahalo for watching Local Now.